Hi my creative friends, this is Sarah Simpson, artist, illustrator, person, and today I am excited to share a review of Sanjoki alcohol markers. I had this 80 alcohol marker set sent to me for free, which also makes me feel very important. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I just leveled up or something. But anyway, I genuinely think this is a really great product and a really great value, and I'm really excited to share them with you because I know that not everyone has a ton of money to spend on, say, Copic markers, which is what I originally invested in, and they are quite expensive. But I think these are genuinely really great markers. So I'm gonna go over everything that I like about these markers, what I don't like about it, who I recommend them for, and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and hop into this Sanjoki alcohol marker review. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the price. That's what we all want to know. And these markers are basically $40. As you can see, they are listed here for $36.90. I received a voucher to order mine directly from Amazon, and they came out to be $40.13. And I really think this is an absolute steal, you guys, especially if you compare them to Copic markers. So the Sanjoki set is 80 markers, and the most comparable set of Copics is 72 markers, and they cost between $300 and $500. And they don't even come with this cool case, which I'm about to show you, this really great case that I love. I promise I will talk about the actual markers, but I first actually want to talk about this case because I think this case is fantastic. It has like a buckle closure, and then it has these little Velcro sections, and I'm going to show you here. The top actually folds over and forms a little triangle so that you can stand your markers up, and they're really easy to grab and put back when you're using them. And I think this is fantastic, especially because Copic markers just come with a cheap plastic case, and that's flimsy and annoying, and I've actually spent a lot of time trying to find a good organization system for them. And if you've ever looked at like Copic organization systems, those are actually expensive. You can spend way more than $40 just on cases. So I really think this is a great deal. And it also has these little Velcro sections on the side that you can pull down if you want to open it up and pull out your markers. They're contained in these little plastic trays. Okay, so time to talk about the actual markers. The Sanjoki marker has a round barrel. It has a brush tip on one end and a chisel nib on the other. You can tell, to help you recognize the brush tip, one end has a gray stripe, and they also have little icons to help show you. The set also comes with a pad of paper, which to be honest I haven't tested out yet, and a swatch guide so that you can see all of the colors that it comes with. I thought the set came with a nice range of hues and values. I like that it had some more pastel colors as well as some more saturated colors. If I were to give a small criticism, I thought a couple of the colors were a little bit close. For example, 13 and 14, the scarlet and the vermilion, were very similar hues, and I would like to see maybe a little more contrast, but that's really being nitpicky, especially for the value that I think this set offers overall. Okay, so to properly test out these markers, we actually have to use them. So I got out my sketchbook and I started on a drawing. I've been making a lot of Halloween stuff for my shop, which will be coming very soon in September. And so having Halloween stuff on the brain, that's what I worked on. And so I had this idea that I want to make an art print that says Halloween is my jam. So I made this little jar with these cute little ghost characters, and I decided the flavor of my jam is batberry jam. And yeah, so I made some little bat berries, and then of course, you have to have some sparkles, and the actual jam at the bottom. The pen that I'm using is my Tombow Fudensuke. It's a felt tip brush pen, and I like it for drawings like this where there's a lot of smaller details because it's a little easier to control than say like a nylon brush pen. Alright, now we can actually start coloring. I started with a nice bright pink color. It's called Vivid Pink. I wanted, it's a blackberry, so I wanted kind of a purpley color. But I started with a pink because I wanted the pink to kind of show through. That way we had kind of a jelly texture to it. As I'm coloring, I'm trying to keep in mind where there might be some highlights on the jelly and leave the white of the paper there. But sometimes I accidentally color over those, and so you'll see that later in the process I also add some highlights with a white gel pen. I decided to show this entire marker coloring section in real-time footage. I did try to cut out little portions here and there, like where my greasy unwashed hair comes into frame, but there's still a little bit of that in there. But anyway, I thought this would give the best opportunity to see how these markers really blend and work together and go down on the paper. But let me know in the comments if you enjoyed seeing this in real time or if you prefer seeing it sped up. I want to make this video something that you guys enjoy watching. So anyway, I will continue coloring this pink section, putting down this first layer of pink, and then I will catch back up with my commentary when I start on the next step. Now to start building up my purple tone, I went in with a very light purple called Pastel Violet. And I just really love the way these two colors blend together. I think it's just really pretty. But yeah, so I'm just building up kind of this mid-tone range, and I'm trying to keep some pink showing at the top where the light would be coming in, and I think the jelly would be the lightest and it would look kind of pink up there. And yeah, that's what I'm doing for this second layer of color. And now I grabbed a dark violet, and I'm going in and I'm darkening up the overall tone or deepening the color. And I'm also using it to add texture and to try to convey the shape of the jar. So I think around the edges where the jar curves away from you, it's a little bit darker. Towards the bottom, it's a little bit darker. There's going to be spots where the jelly's touching the glass, and those are going to be a little bit darker. So I'm just keeping that in mind, trying to add a little bit of variation and texture. Now that I've laid down my areas of dark violet, I'm going to go back over it with my pastel violet and just blend those colors together, so soften those hard edges. And it really doesn't take much. When I first started with alcohol markers, I would overblend a lot and you kind of end up with these weird little spots. You really just need to go softly over those edges and then just let it dry and see what it looks like, because a lot of times that those colors kind of meld together. It takes a second to take effect. Now I'm using a pastel pink to color the bat's eyes, or the jam's eyes, I guess. But I didn't want to use the same vivid pink because I thought it would make the eyes blend in too much. But I thought the pale pink worked perfectly to help them not be too bright, but still also not too distracting. Now I'm going to repeat all those steps to color my little bat berries. So start with a layer of vivid pink, go over it with some pastel violet, and then some dark violet, and then some pastel violet again to blend them. I decided to go back in with my Tombow Fudensuke and add some stripes to the little, I don't know what you call it, napkin thing that's coming out from the lid. a color called Green Gray 3 to put down a base coat on the lid. And I'm being careful to leave the white of the paper for highlights and shape. Now I'm taking a darker shade called Green Gray 5 to add in the shadows to convey where the lid has grooves in it, and to also try to help convey the round shape of the lid and jar. It looks like I was thinking about just laying in the shadow there and then decided to color the whole napkin thingy purple. And now I'm using the dark purple to add in the shadow from the lid and give the napkin some shape. And now I'm going back over my dark violet that I just put down with the pastel violet to blend the hard edges. Now I'm using the pastel violet to add shadows and give our little ghosty friend some shape. Now I've grabbed a pale baby blue to color the glass, again leaving some areas of the paper for highlights. I thought the art looked a little bit boring on just a white background, and I wanted to make those ghosts really pop, so I decided to tape off the edges of the paper and color the background black. And I do really think this helped the ghost pop and the purple color pop, And it's also always satisfying to pull off that tape at the end and just have those nice clean edges. Even though most of this coloring has been in real time, I decided to speed up this last section just because it's a little bit long and I thought it would be boring to watch me color it, just color this whole section black. And I also wanted to mention that I definitely think this would have benefited from a second coat of black to get that really nice dark black background. And that isn't anything that's specific to Sanjoki markers. This is the same with Copic markers. Pretty much with any darker color, if you're coloring in a large area like that, you need 2 or maybe even 3 coats to get a really nice even coverage. But I decided not to do that because I guess I was feeling a little bit lazy, and also because I know that I'm going to ultimately scan this in and I can darken that up in Photoshop later. So that's what I chose to do. And then I finished off my drawing the way I finish most every drawing, and that is with a white jelly roll pen to add some highlights and some speckles and some ambiance. Hi guys, thanks so much for sticking around. I hope this information in this video was helpful to you, and if it was, maybe you would consider subscribing to my channel, hitting that notification bell, and if you'd like more between now and then, I sometimes post on Instagram. I've been kind of inconsistent lately, but I'm over there a lot. Also on TikTok, and you can find me on my website at bysarahsimpson.com. And until next time, keep on arting in the real world. Bye.